Well, I think come nightfall, we'll see who all shows up at the fire. What's going on out here? You're not challenging the bull, are you? Because that's not a good idea. Even though I don't think the animals would hurt the villagers. I know the bears will. I take that back. The bears will kill the villagers. Even though I have my settings set for them to be cuddly. They're still vicious. Anyway, nightfall. Let's see who shows up at the fire. And then we'll see who ends up sleeping where. Oh, I'm glad to see that you are back in there. Now, having spent these last several days understanding the structure of this particular village's layout, footprint, and mechanics, algorithms, whatever, I have come to the conclusion that this village needs some changes to make it function as expected. First of all, there is no place for the farmers to work because the only two little farms are in the yards of two of the buildings. There are workstations in the houses, but they do not necessarily correspond with what's available nearby for the villagers who spawn in those houses. The next time I come across this village, which this is the second time I've come across this layout, this footprint of a village, but the next time I come across this particular setup, I will keep in mind what I've learned from this village. And then I will know right off the bat, the layout is too big, too spread out. There are no jobs available for the villagers that spawn. And apparently a couple will despawn, such as the mayor, almost immediately, because there is no place for him to sleep. There are not enough beds for the number of villagers that spawn in this particular village. So, I have also come to the conclusion that with some of the villages that have the old wooden doors that we have determined the villagers cannot open or close, that nearly every village that has those doors, or villages that have gates that the villagers cannot function, those villages are not going to, they're not going to work properly. So anyone who is traveling through Vintage Story Worlds and they encounter a village, if they want to see the village actually functioning properly, they will have to make changes. Unless there is some change to the mod that can fix those things. Okay, this is one of our Philippas. Anyway, those were just fleeting thoughts a couple of days ago, and I will actually have to put that more into thought. Yvonne the shepherd is coming into the church. Why? Are you telling me that this is where you're all going to socialize today? Seriously? I made a spot for you. It's right outside. I need for you to go there, not here. Come on. Ah, I forgot to take that brazier out. Darn it. Anyway, as I do more traveling and analyzing, it's only 17:09. In my world, that's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of these folks don't start socializing until later. Anyway, as I'm playing the villages and discovering new villages, I will have to see just how much... Okay, who is this? This is another Philippa? Or the same Philippa? And where is she going? To the church. Where are you going? To the hill. Okay. Are we splitting up into two groups? Curious who's going to show up where. Anyway, as I was saying, because, my thoughts are scattered on this. Because I can't just play the game and not encounter issues that need to be changed or fixed, altered, because I don't just play the game. I don't bump into the villages, say, oh, that's cute, take advantage of what I can, and then flee on to the next. My whole purpose is the villages. So obviously, I'm going to analyze the things that are wrong. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. At least there's one. We'll see who else shows up. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to analyze things, and I'm going to try and fix things, and whatever I learn and discover, I will pass on, because certainly there are other folks out there playing this game who will encounter the villages and then discover that the villages don't actually function the way you would expect, because there are issues. There's issues with the gates. There's issues with... Hi! Doors? Okay, there is two Philippas. Did we not just pass one, and this is another one? So yeah, according to my original list, we have Elizabeth, who's a soldier, William, who's an herbalist, XX, who's a trader, Miriella, an herbalist, Miriella, a shepherd, Philippa, a farmer, Wolfram, a soldier, and then we had some homeless folks, Leonidas, a farmer. Have we run into him anywhere? Baltridge was the mayor, William, an herbalist, and Yvonne, a shepherd, and Josephine, an herbalist. So I have not seen a Baltridge, and I have not seen a Leonidas. So have we had two folks disappear, despawn? Philippa, hi. Are you the first or the second? I wish I could change their clothes and make them more distinctive. Okay, so there are definitely 3 hanging out here. Well, 2.5, because she's not actually in the building. Are you going up the hill? Please go up the hill. Come on. Let's go up the hill. Come on. See if anybody else showed up here. No. Give it some time. Some of them don't leave their workstations until well past dark. But yeah, I'm glad this worked the way I intended it to. Anyway, but so far this is probably the most challenging layout of a village I've had. The other thing I was thinking too is that if I'm going to expand with this particular footprint, you can see how far away from each other the buildings are. And by foot is the only way these folks have to get around. And if they have a limited time between home and work and home, or work and socializing and then home, these things need to be closer together. So socializing obviously needs to be in the center of town. Jobs need to be between homes and social center, so that shortens their commutes. And if anything else needs to be built for the village, it needs to be built within the footprint that's already established. That's my observation. And logically, that's what makes sense. I mean, even in real life. I don't think anybody actually elects to drive hours out of their way if they don't have to. Philippa, go up on the hill. Come on. Your friend is up there. He's all by himself. Could probably use the company. Yeah, I wish I did. Up there, on the other side of the hospital, there's a hill with chairs and a fire. Are you programmed to this particular location where that brazier is, and not the new one I plunked down after the village was created? Well, we do know that we can manipulate the villagers. We can force them to go somewhere else. I know it's possible because I've been doing it. I also think for some of them it's just a matter of time. They take time to acclimate to changes. So that's kind of what I'm going with, especially in a larger village. Now, the herbalist, William, who is hanging out way over here in the farthest corner, he may not be able to go all the way to another farthest away corner. Maybe it's not in his plan. But if I can get him to travel halfway to that point for some reason, and then give him the time he needs to acclimate to that distance from home, and then give him a reason to go from that second location to a third location, maybe I can, as I've tried to do, interrupt their programming, expand their programming. Okay, Philippa. Yeah? Is there a reason you're not going to the social square? Elizabeth, you too can come to the social square. Yeah, that's getting harder to say. Let's try liquid. Okay. Yeah, both of you can come there. It's right there. You can see it from here. Right there. Right there. Oh. Okay. Let's see, 21:55, so 22, that's 10 o'clock my time. Okay, Elizabeth is heading home. She is not even going to socialize. Okay, another question. Is it possible that they have a limit on the amount of time they'll socialize? Is each villager programmed the same, or are there certain, like, say, DNA factors? I don't think they all have the same programming. I think they all have different programming, and I'm guessing it's random as to who gets what. But do they have a limit, like on their socializing and how long they'll stay at work and how long they'll sleep? Josephine did not make it back to the hospital where she has been sleeping. So, did we... Back door. We need a back door. Did, kind of sort of forcing her to come up here, did that deplete the amount of time that her programming says that she has to travel? I don't know. I would be really, really curious to see. All right, two of them made it back. XX the trader and Yvonne the shepherd. And they work real nearby. What if... Wow. Okay, apparently the beds are really bouncy. Yeah, okay. That's bouncing on the bed. That's brilliant. The floors don't bounce. Let's see if the chairs bounce. No, just the beds bounce. Nice detail. Let's see if these ones bounce. Yes, they do. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, anyway, so now that y'all know that, go bounce on your beds. The thing I was just thinking. A back door. What if I were to put a balcony up here with a door and then stairs down to this area? Then Josephine here would not deplete her travel time allotment because she has to come all this way and of course around the building, and you know, you get the point. But if we were to make a balcony and a straight shot out to the area, she might make it here. Also, others might make it here and possibly sleep up here, which would make this area not wasted space. So, yeah, I think that's something we'll work on our next adventure. So I think I've analyzed enough for one day. I think I have confused myself sufficiently, Philippa. Sure glad there's no bears around here. I've not heard any wolves, not seen any bears. So that's actually good, I think, but it also kind of takes away the possibility that we get large hides, because we won't be finding and hunting those things. Okay, That brazier is gone. So now that should force everyone to hang out up on the hill. That's the plan. All right, I'm going to go and make some changes to the hospital, and we shall return. Well, of course you're not going to find it because it just fell through. Okay.